Dawn had not yet broken. The late autumn air was cold, and the surroundings were still pitch dark. Inside the Luo family cellar, a small oil lamp flickered quietly. 17-year-old Luo Zheng sat by a rough table, shielding most of the light with his body, while reading a worn, thread-bound book. His figure was thin and ordinary, yet his eyes were clear and spirited even in the dim light. He had spent an entire month reading the book, Heaven's Inquisition of the Constitution. The teachings spoke of morality and virtue, but Lu Zheng could not accept one phrase within it: repay evil with good. His father had lived by those words. Because of that kindness, his family had fallen, and his father had died. Lu Zheng stared at the small flame and sighed quietly. Just then, the sound of a lock echoed from the cellar door. His expression instantly hardened. He blew out the lamp, hid the book, and covered himself with a worn quilt. The door opened, and several footsteps entered. A thin steward with sharp features stepped forward and kicked Lu Zheng's bed. Still sleeping. Do you still think you're the Luo family's young master? Lu Zheng slowly rose, rubbing his eyes as if half asleep. Without speaking, he put on his worn clothes carefully and neatly. The steward sneered at his composure and ordered the servants behind him to move. They forced thick leather armor onto Luo Zheng and locked heavy shackles around his hands and feet. Escorted by servants, he was taken from the cellar and led across the Luo family estate. The Luo family was one of the largest clans in Chongming County, possessing fertile lands and mines. Their mansions, pavilions, and bridges stretched across the estate. Yet, in the vast eastern region filled with countless noble clans, the Luo family was only a modest power. Eventually, they arrived at the drill hall. The hall was enormous. White marble carvings of dragons and lions decorated the entrance, and the ground was paved with large black stones. Inside, dozens of young Luo family disciples were training under an instructor. Their fists cut through the cold air as they shouted and practiced diligently, sweat steaming from their bodies despite the autumn chill. At one side of the hall stood several men wearing shackles and leather armor, just like Lu Zheng. Their faces were bruised and their bodies covered in wounds. Most of them were prisoners bought from the local prison to serve as living targets for the Luo family disciples' martial training. Many died each year. Luo Zheng stood among them quietly. Unlike the others, he had not been bought as a criminal. He had once been the proud eldest son of the Luo family's main branch. 2 years ago, everything changed. His father, the clan leader, was poisoned by his own brothers during a power struggle. The main branch was framed for betrayal and destroyed. Luo Zheng lost his status and was reduced to a slave used as a human training target. For 2 years, he had endured endless beatings and humiliation. Soon, the instructor raised his voice. Training ends here. Each disciple may choose a human target. The disciples eagerly approached the chained men. Cries of pain and pleas for mercy soon filled the hall. Many disciples deliberately chose Luo Zheng. Beating the former young master gave them a strange satisfaction. Luo Zheng protected his vital areas and endured the blows silently. He had long since grown used to the pain. After some time, several figures entered the hall. At their center was a young man wearing a luxurious brocade robe. The young master is here. The disciples quickly stopped training and began flattering him enthusiastically. The newcomer was Lo Perrin. He had once been the eldest son of the second branch and was Lo Zheng's cousin. After Lo Zheng's fall, Lo Perrin had taken the title of young master. Lo Zheng looked at him quietly, anger hidden deep in his eyes. Lo Perrin noticed the gaze and walked over with a playful smile. Lu Zheng, I've been in seclusion for a long time. I didn't expect you to still be alive. I won't die so easily, Lu Zheng replied calmly. Several disciples immediately shouted at him for his disrespect toward the young master. Lo Perrin waved them silent. Do you know why I was in seclusion? He asked proudly. He then revealed the reason. The Luo family possessed 2 legendary treasures known as the worldly creation pills. These sacred medicines were said to cleanse the body and drastically increase cultivation. According to the ancestral rules, only disciples who reached the bone refinement stage before the age of 16 were allowed to use them. Such a requirement was extremely difficult. For 300 years, no one in the Luo family had met that standard. Yet Luo Perrin had secretly taken one. With its power, he jumped directly from the flesh refinement stage to the bone refinement stage.